Yeah, fingers crossed.
So, once again, we are back in the world of the Tarascon Flats. We are down a rogue from a Crown of Cold Iron again. And so we are returning to the adventures of Dr. Aloysius Mallard and Tink and their reluctant companion, their reluctance, not his, Busker, as they try to hunt down some livestock rustlers who have stolen what you discovered to actually be giant
Cat turtles?
cat turtles, but hatchlings. Somehow they have been stolen through what was supposed to be an impenetrable magical fence. You did find signs of disturbance where it looks like they were somehow, or something passed maybe under the fence, and you were preparing to follow that out into the flats.
Well, before we do that, just real quick, we're still next to the fence, right?
Yep.
I'm going to reach down and grab a rock. And I'm going
All
to
right.
toss it over the fence.
So like back into the fence.
Yeah, because you said the above the fence was like shimmery, right?
Yes. Make a luck check.
Was it just a straight D20?
Yep.
10.
All right. With a 10, yeah, it hits. You actually see it like roll a little. Like there is a giant, transparent sphere described by nothing except the rolling of this rock back down towards the ground.
All right.
All right. So, what do you want to do?
Well, if we found the place where there's a disturbance under the fence, I guess we should investigate that.
All right. Go ahead and give me your best of survival or perception checks.
Well, same either way for me.
Darn it, my investigation is +3.
Dirty 20.
All right.
17.
Very good. So this is kind of a group effort. So some of the ranch hands have gathered. So I shouldn't run the same one shot twice. I might have jumped us ahead. I apologize. Did I leave you all right at the gates?
I actually think you did.
Yeah. Hey,
don't
there's the
remember.
confusion. So
Sorry.
shouldn't run the same one shot like 5 days apart.
Oops.
There we go. Rewind. Retcon. So, you all are on the edge of the fence line, about to enter into Vertinuckle Mobile Homes. You had made the sort of, not long trek, but a noticeable trek from Walker's Rest. And you've arrived at a giant sort of, mostly transparent spherical barrier enclosing a very, very large area within which you see what you would imagine to be hills, except hills don't normally move. It turns out the cattle of Chelonian Mobile Homes are actually gigantic cat turtles. Something like you've heard tales before of like sea dragons, of island turtles. This feels like maybe it's in sort of the same family, but they are sort of ponderously moving around on big fuzzy paws tucked into turtle shells with deep rumbling.
I have to back out of the game for just a second and ask: is it cat turtles because cat toll?
Yes.
Okay.
You have penetrated the deep inner logic of the world. Yes. There's also a nod to the lion turtles of Atla fame. So, yeah, Vertinuckle Holmes has appeared in person. A sort of wiry. It's hard to tell if you think he's human, but he's got that sort of short, wiry bounciness where he could be like a tall gnome or a skinny dwarf or just some really excitable creature you're not familiar with. But he has excitedly welcomed you. And well, you must be here with the Rosen commission that I sent out. So,
Yes.
let's see it. Let's see it.
The commission?
Yes, yes. He looks at it, and he kind of pokes at the seal. And the seal, you didn't know that it does this when he you don't know how it did this. When he pokes at it, it kind of goes boom. He's like, yes, all in order. Hands it back. So, you are going to find our lost hatchlings. Is that right? Of course.
Yes,
You've got the commission. This way, this way. He sort of gesticulates wildly and starts running faster than you'd expect. Like, I say running. It's like a weird power walk, but he's covering ground faster than you would expect. Even some of the ranch hands that were kind of standing nearby are kind of like light hustle jog to keep up. You're weaving in between these giant cattle. There's only maybe like 20 of them out here. The largest one was the one you spotted from quite a distance that seems to have like the house sitting up on it and some like various buildings and things. You see like one smaller one that just seems to have like an outhouse. But there's others that have like beautiful trees growing off their shells, little gardens. There's a medium-sized one that seems to have like a whole field of something like wheat. Make your best of Arcana or Nature.
5.
23.
So, Tink, you're a little more classically schooled. You've read about this. This would be a strange thing to do to a creature, except you know that cattle and certain creatures like them, you might think of like they're almost more like magically empathic plants.
Okay.
They need basically positive vibes of living creatures to survive. That's how they grow and they thrive. Another way to think of it is if good vibes are krill, and they are, is it the baleen whales with the, and so they're just sort of sifting energy out of the air and growing larger and larger, very slowly.
All right.
So they're actually, it's sort of a beneficial symbiotic relationship where the creature is feeding and thriving. And this sort of instantly unfolds some of the business plan for you of like, people must buy these literally to build homes on, which actually turns out good for them and for the turtles, as long as they treat them well. A pissed off cattle will definitely just roll. It takes a lot of energy, and they have a little bit of trouble getting back on their feet, but they will absolutely roll and flatten you if your vibes get too bad. Just scrape you off and start over. So, Vertinuckle is this sort of of hair. He's got some goggles. He's sort of darting in between, and you see other workers like doing things like it's a little different than a normal ranch. They're like tending these gardens. There's some like polishing of the shells, but a lot of it just seems to be like they live and do things on top of the cattle. That's how the cattle do well. So you're passing by like, here's like a big burly ranch hand, and he's just like sitting on the back of a smaller cattle, like reading a book under the shade of a little tree. You see another couple, and they're again a lot of like sort of the burly, sort of like hard worn, old school jeans, and then like tank tops. But you see like two of them are like playing music. One guy's just painting. It's not very good, but he seems happy. And the cattle are just kind of vibing, like. There is a very just peaceful air. So it's more noticeable when you get towards the edge of the fence line and you can see this other area that's been set off. Most of this has just been huge open space for these cattle to slowly roam. But there's an area that's been set aside, and there seem to be like piles of hay or something. And there's like a visible glow at the bottom of the hay. And you can see fragments of shell. Like big leathery chunks of shell discarded across here. And you see 6 of these patches set off in an enclosure by themselves.
So the eggs.
Vertinuckle says, "This was supposed to be a prize clutch. 6 perfect little beautiful cattle hatchlings. And now I have a bunch of empty egg shards and no cattle. This is not good. They've been gone." He looks over at one of the ranch hands, and they kind of 3 days. We noticed that they were missing within. They disappeared overnight, so it couldn't have been more than 10 hours. But it took us a while to forward all the paperwork through and get you here. We sent a few folks out just trying to follow them, but we couldn't find anything. Supposed to be penetrable. We don't have problems like this. And he reaches up and and the sphere goes just a little bit and does not yield at all.
How old were the I suppose Tink can ask this. How old were the cattle hatchlings when they were taken?
Only a few days old. They were no bigger than your fine robotic creature there. Fluffy.
Well, I'm gonna very carefully approach the fence and just try to slowly climb over it.
It's like hitting a glass sphere. Like, you try and push through, and there's just a fully solid barrier there. Do you want to try and like really push against it?
Sure.
All right. This has gotta be a strength check.
Well, we're in trouble. Just a straight strength check?
Yep.
How's a 4 sound?
It's almost more embarrassing that you don't even push hard enough to make it push back. It's almost like, well, actually, it's very much like a bird hitting a very clear glass window and then just and just sliding off.
All right, that's pretty solid.
That reminds me of one time that we were on a cruise and a friend like did not see that there was a glass wall and you couldn't run further forward on the deck and slammed into it. It was plexiglass, but trying to get to the front of the ship and just went.
Vertinuckle observes, yes, the local wildlife has learned very quickly that this is not a great fly space.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And
is it solid all the way up, or does it have a hole in the top?
No, it's a full sphere.
Full dome. Okay.
I will take your word on that one.
And actually, now that you're looking for it, you do notice, like, there are the occasional birds. There's not a ton, because there's more here than other parts of the flats, because this is sort of a richer area. But there's still not a ton to eat out here, so. So you see the handful of birds that there are very clearly like, it's like straight line, and then veering fully around and continuing on. So what do you want to do?
I would like to ask a bit more about the business. Who might know about the fact that these hatchlings were hatched, who they do deals with, trying to get some ideas as to who might be interested in taking these cattle hatchlings.
And while she's asking, I will be investigating the fence line at the ground level, since clearly they didn't go over.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Aloysius, give me... it'll be a perception check. I'm not even going to pretend to ask you for investigation.
15.
I've played a monk before. Tink, we won't sort of go through it bit by bit. Give me a flat intelligence check.
All right, hold on. Roll up here. Intelligence. No, I set the wrong one. There we go. 17.
All right. So with a 17, you know Vertinuckle's type. Like, he's kind of got that wild, offbeat, eccentric genius vibe happening. He seems very transparent with you. And just immediately, like, gives you more information than you wanted, honestly. Very detailed info. Basically, like, he has a vetted list of very wealthy individuals all around the world who pay giant sums of money for cattle. And there's enough demand and few enough cattle each season that they can basically choose their own clients. Someone has to be like very they have to have a good reputation. They're not going to send the cattle off for something,
Right.
Excuse me. They're not going to let you use them as like a war machine or something. They've been doing very well financially. Trying to think what else is super relevant. This clutch is worth a lot of money.
Do they have competitors?
Not really. It's such an eccentric business that, like, there's maybe a couple more out there in the world somewhere.
But they're really not competitors
No,
because
like, there's
they're
so
in
few
different
of them.
markets. Yeah. Okay.
And locally, all of the ranches are very eccentric. This strange or weirder. You have encountered at least what seems to be a nightmare ranch and a unicorn ranch.
All right.
So
Yeah.
very different demographics happening. Is there anything specific you want to ask about?
So it was it was about 10 hours overnight.
It couldn't
Right.
have been more than that. It could have
Couldn't
been
have been
less.
more than that. Could have been less. Okay.
Because they do have people who do rounds occasionally.
Right. Right. Would love to know more about who was on duty and doing rounds, because my gut instinct is that this might be an inside job, unless, I mean, this is some high tech fencing here. Somebody's got to know how it works. So,
So he goes on to tell you, and I won't keep doing his voice.
it's fine.
This
Don't blame me.
weird squeaks. He tells you that they don't actually do a whole lot of direct maintenance on the fence.
Okay.
The fence was actually installed. The fence here is actually one part of a network of fences.
Okay.
Basically, all the ranch owners raise the money together to have some like magical engineering firm come out here from one of the major cities. And so it's this sort of interconnected, self-sustaining loop of magic that was supposed to never need maintenance.
Right. Have any of the other ranches had technical issues with their fencing?
I'm going to go back to the voice. It's hard to say. Have you met Helbrith?
What does Helbrith do? I
He
don't-
was the guy. He was the dwarfy-looking guy with the nightmare horse.
Right. Thank you.
Uh,
Joe to
I
help me
met
out
him at the
here.
pub.
Joe helping me out here with my memory, or lack thereof.
so, for a couple of months now, he and Cornelius have been bickering back and forth, each claiming the other has been sabotaging their their operation. It's kind of hard to tell if they're just blaming each other for things that would have happened anyway. They really hate each other to an inordinate degree.
And their neighbors, like they have adjoining properties, or
Well, neighbors is a bit of a strong phrase. Cornelius actually doesn't do much of the running of the corn-fed ranch. He actually spends a lot of time in town serving as sort of the part-time banker for everyone. It seems to be the role he prefers, and he mostly leaves the running of the ranch to others. But that doesn't really stop him from taking it very personally when Helbrith makes accusations or lights parts of his fields on fire.
lovely.
He says it was an accident. I almost believe him.
Almost.
So, to pivot while all this is going on, Dr. Aloysius Mallard, what does it look like when Mallard is like investigating this area?
Well, since I'm looking at the ground specifically, I guess I'm kind of taking a parodied Sherlock Holmes kind of stance, where I'm kind of bent over at the hips.
Your duck butt is like straight up in the air.
Yes. Duck butt straight up in the air. And just kind of bent almost at a right angle.
Yeah.
So
When they
from
dive in the water, like when they're swimming and they dive down to grab something, like
Mhm.
just the butt
and
sticking up.
I think the juxtaposition is Tink and Vertiknuckle are having this like intense back and forth talking about this, and like in the gaps between them, you just see like the butt and the tail, the little tail feathers, like walking back and forth, and like leaning down investigating, then walking the other way, and then it cuts to a slightly different angle, but it's the same thing. Like it's been so long, I don't even remember what you rolled.
15.
15. With a 15, you notice a couple things. You are, in fact, an expert on certain elements of eggs and hatching and avian and reptilian biology. You recognize that these eggs do seem to have hatched naturally. You do notice they seem to have
Russell
hatched
putting his own
naturally.
2 cents in.
He's being lazy. He's barking at something outside, but instead of fully coming down and barking out a window, he's just barking down the stairwell, which does nothing and just irritates me. Looks like they hatch naturally. You do notice that there do seem to be a confusing sort of cluster of different trails and prints. You see layers like the big fuzzy, because their pads are like a combination. They're really like the halfway mark between like a cat's pads and paws, but against like a sort of broader, thicker, uh, like tortoise foot. You see what looks like probably marks of the different ranch hands going back and forth. What's unusual, though, there's what looks like a patch of recently disturbed soil towards the middle of this cluster of eggshells. I would say it's about a 10 by 10 area.
Well, that right there is unusual.
You do also notice that underneath sort of the hay are some kind of like warming enchantment that's just creating like a gentle heat under each of these spots. So what do you want to do?
Hey, boss man.
Uh,
Why don't you come over here and take a look at this spot right here?
oh, huh. That is a little odd.
So this is not part of the natural hatching process, I would take it.
No, we use the warming enchantments that are carved into the ground over here. They're covered with soft material to avoid the unfortunate cracking accidents. Yes, this isn't supposed to be here.
So tell me more about the recently disturbed space, so I can get a better mental image.
So, with that perception check, the grass there's actually some sort of like shrub, not shrub, like scrub grass across this area. Oh, Zoom is crashing.
Recording in progress.
Well, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Well, that got real weird.
All right, then.
Huh. I'm going to put it in a different configuration and see if that helps.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. Rewinding. So, circle in the ground. It looks like the... there's scrub grass everywhere else. There's this patch about 10 by 10 of disturbed earth. With that perception check, you can see that the grass that seems to be through the rest of this and the dirt underneath have been churned. What you also see is that mixed in with sort of this churned earth, there is also a more granular, dry sand. Like sand is mixed in with this in a way that strikes you as odd.
So I take it the sand then is also not part of the normal hatching process, boss man.
No, it is not.
Well, unfortunately, us being in the desert, sand is not a huge clue.
Mm-hmm. A lot of sand in the desert.
But at the very least, we know that. What do we know?
I don't know. It's a lot I don't know.
Go ahead and both of you make another perception check. This one with advantage. Perception or survival, whichever is your better.
Oh, a 21.
All right.
All right. Dirty 20.
So, as you all are kind of eyeballing the situation, so this ranch sort of is at the edge of this sort of nicer area around Walker's Rest. You're actually not very far from the desert. As you're sort of scanning the horizon, you might have missed it if you weren't kind of looking specifically for it. You actually don't have to look very far. There is a very similar patch of disturbed earth, only like maybe 20, 25 feet on the other side of the fence. And you notice it because there is sort of darker, richer soil that seems to have been churned into the surrounding sand.
Somebody dug a tunnel.
Do you want Fluffy to dig down in the disturbed earth?
Is that something red pandas do?
Oh.
I don't know.
I'll allow it.
Come on, Fluffy. Go digging.
All right, be right back.
Let's have Fluffy make an athletics check.
All right. Oh, no. So if I make it, so that means I'm making the athletics check myself? Or?
Let's see. If Fluffy doesn't have athletics marked, just roll a strength check with their strength.
Okay. How would because I'm trying to use this and I'm not familiar with having a familiar, so
Yep, I'm pulling you up.
Yeah, because because I can easily just roll a d20, but I was looking at my own stats. And
You
I
have a
didn't know how to
plus
find.
6 on Fluffy's athletics, so d20 plus
Okay.
6.
D20 plus 6. Roll. So 12.
All right. It's already been kind of churned out ahead.
It's true.
Fluffy doesn't quite make it all the way down, but Fluffy seems to be moving in a way that suggests this soil has been pre-disturbed. There's definitely a path down there.
Mm-hmm.
So tunnel confirmed.
Yes.
All right.
Chew and swallow. I mean, I get that chewing's hard when you don't have many teeth, but still. You are just so excitable. My goodness, child.
So I guess we'll follow the tunnel then.
That's it. You ate all your treats.
Cornelius actually chimes in and says, "Oh, here, I can help with that." He starts patting his mini pockets, and he comes out with a little stone, and there's a rune carved onto the stone, and he takes it over and is able to kind of gently describe a small opening, and you all are able to sort of just walk out past the fence line.
Okay.
Within about 3 seconds, it snaps back. All right. To speed us right along, go ahead and give me another perception or survival check.
Well, there's a nat 1.
Womp womp.
7.
Oh no. Tink can give you advantage. Or sorry, not Tink. Your Fluffy can give you advantage.
All right.
Meanwhile, I fly straight into the dome again.
And
So that was an 8.
Fluffy's better at perception than you are.
Oh. So what's Fluffy's perception?
Fluffy gets a +4.
Okay, so let me then actually roll.
Hey, Busker, do something useful.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Busker's here. Busker will give Mallard advantage.
Okay, so Fluffy rolled a 13.
There we go, a dirty 20.
All right.
And then Busker helped you get a dirty 20. There we go. Thank you, Busker.
So it takes a little bit. It's harder than you feel like it should be, but
Really.
between the 4 of you, you sort of investigate this area, and part of what takes you a minute is there should be something here. That makes sense. You're looking for footprints, for hoof prints.
Paw prints.
And instead, this sort of sand here is almost weirdly smooth. And you have to kind of step back a little bit, and about at the same time, Fluffy kind of eyes it and points at something off to the side. And Mallard, you step back and realize it's not smooth. Something has left a repeated S-shaped pattern across the tracks over and over.
Snake up. Fetcher.
I referenced that the other day, and one of my friends who heard it 10,000 times with me had totally forgotten.
How could you forget that? It's an original meme. It's older than YouTube.
You find what seems to be very large snake prints heading off into the deeper into the flats.
All right.
Okay, y'all have fun. I don't do snakes.
Well, considering that these are like part turtle, it does not surprise me, me
Yeah.
being the player, that snakes are involved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that we've seen this, it's obvious enough which way it's going.
Follow that snake print.
I'm gonna go up to try and get a better view.
All
Okay.
right. So give me one more. Give me one more survival check from Mallard with advantage.
Survival with advantage. Well, a 19 or let's call it a 19.
All right. With the 19, you're able to sort of trail the prints. And they're sort of at first it's kind of hard to tell where you're going. They just seem to be like winding their way across the sand for no reason. But eventually you see kind of a dip, and the sand sort of parts, revealing maybe like an old ravine. And right as the trail sort of starts to cross over like sturdier, harder rock that doesn't take impressions, the path is very much narrowed ahead of you. And you should be on a new map.
So we are.
All right, I'm going to pull y'all back just a little bit. All right. So you should be able to move your tokens. If not, drop a new one on the map.
Yep, I can move.
Cool.
Okay.
And you should be able to move Fluffy, too.
Nope.
Oh, all right. So you should be able to grab Steel Defender on the journal page and drop it in.
Okay, here's journal. Steel Defender. Oh wait, grab and drop, Rachel. Drag it. There we go. Ta-da.
And I do not believe in being on the low ground.
You'll take the road, and I'll take the road.
All right. So Mallard is sort of following from above.
Yep. I mean, I'm kind of touching down on the tops of
ground,
the edge of the ravine.
All right. Go ahead and let's see something that D&D Beyond could add is like a one-stop place for information for DMs. Like, here's all of your party's AC and saving throws and passive stats.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. How do you want to progress through the ravine?
One step at a time. I don't know.
I'll be going along the upper edge
Okay.
to try and get a better view of what's coming ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess I'll be a little bit ahead of the party.
Yeah.
Busker's going to kind of... Again, Busker is surprisingly competent. He's going to kind of tuck along the wall. So, Mallard, make a perception check with advantage.
So 22.
Nice.
All right. With a 22, you just barely spot there are there are shapes like almost like half buried in the sand. Up above, like almost like on the same ridgeline that you're on either side. Something. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Can you see the ping?
Yeah.
There is something on each side, sort of 2/3 buried in sand.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. We decided that I have an actual duck head to go with my duck name, right?
Yes.
So I don't think I can
Come
whistle.
here.
So I will give a rhythmic quack that I've decided is the warning symbol to the rest of the party.
All right. Let's have. All right. What do y'all want to do?
I'm sorry. My cat is investigating the treats that are at my feet. Like they're in a box, so she can't get to them. But Maisie is suddenly wishing she had opposable thumbs.
I am going to, after having warned the party that there's danger ahead, I'm going to advance closer while staying above the ridge line there. And then, if there's no movement from them, I will throw a dart at one of the nearest disturbances.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
8.
8 is not going to hit.
What are you trying to do, Maisie?
In the world?
Yeah.
That was weird. I told it to start the encounter, and it was just like... Oh, here we go. It was just like... There we go. It was just like, here's everyone's initiative for you.
Thanks. That doesn't help.
Weird. All right, roll for initiative.
Seven.
17.
Oh, snap. It automatically plugged them in.
Nice.
That's crazy. Whoa. All right. So you're flying over. Dr. Mallard, you pull one of your darts, your trusty throwing darts, out and just kind of... And it hits the sand right next to this submerged something. And you see something kind of... and move slightly to the side. But it is your turn. And I'll go ahead and reveal. There is some kind of serpentine creature still sort of half buried. I guess the other one is half buried. This one has actually moved a little.
Okay. Do I have any inkling of what it looks like?
Large serpentine, and with that perception roll, like a weird hybrid of like humanoid and serpentine, which is odd.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna dive onto it and attack it.
All right, go for it.
So I guess I'm going feet first for a Talons Attack.
All right.
Which is 9 to hit.
9 ain't gonna do it.
But as a monk, if I do an unarmed strike, which that counts, I can do another unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So, other foot is a 10.
That one's actually fairly close. You're seeing that this is it's like a scaly but humanoid upper torso attached to a long, thick snake tail, and a slightly humanoid face, kind of. And sort of to one side and then to the other as the talons on your feet try and clamp over them. And
This
it is
why
their
you don't
turn.
go feet first. No, let's definitely do this. It draws a scimitar and swings at you. What?
First one is a 21.
Ow.
2 points of slashing damage. Second is a 19.
That also hits.
5 points of slashing damage. I can even
That's
see your
fine.
all's health now. This is crazy.
That just got through the temp HP that Busker got us before we started.
Busker's like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
The creature on the other side is going to sort of unsubmerge itself. And let's make sure you're in close range.
How do you do that? The arrow with the distance. Help me remember.
In your menu on the left side screen.
Yeah.
Fourth one down.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. What do I click? Snap this.
Yeah. Snap to center.
Apparently your bad rolls are rubbing off. So we had 2 misses, 2 hits, and now 2 more misses as the other creature pulls a bow and shoo, shoo, and totally misses you.
There you go.
Hang on. I don't think Oh no, that's if it would have hit. Dang it.
All right. A small snake reveals itself coming up out of the sand and dashes towards Busker. And it is Busker's turn. Busker doesn't like that. So Busker kind of takes a step back. It's like, whoa, whoa. And is kind of like awkwardly holding their instrument out like this, like, stay back, stay back. And Busker is going to use Vicious Mockery, which might kill it. Yep, he gets a 7. If he rolls a 2 or higher, it dies. Oh no! It is bloodied and has disadvantage on its next attack.
Oh my god.
He only dealt 1 point. It is Tink's
Busker.
turn. Tink, what do you want to do?
I'm not hitting that little thing.
Don't bother.
I'm not bothering. So I'm gonna move forward because I'm short. So, oops. So I'm gonna move forward. I think that's. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I did move the right distance. And then I'm going to let's see here. That's 40 and that's 30. Get to the right place so I can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna get my musket out and shoot some things. Like that's my whole intention here.
All right.
The one that Mallard's fighting, has that one taken damage yet?
It has not.
Okay, so neither one of these have taken damage.
Right. Also, if you would like Fluffy to do things, you have to use your bonus action to direct him. Otherwise, he will just use the dodge action and stay where he is.
Okay.
He also has a reaction to basically like a protection fighter to impose disadvantage on an attack roll against an ally.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm going to start by... I'm actually going to shoot the one that Mallard's not going after.
All right. Go ahead and give it a roll.
It's a 14.
14's going to hit.
All right. Let's see what I'm doing. And that's 14 points of damage.
All right. I think it should be 15. There we go.
Okay.
If you hit refresh, your musket wasn't attuned. So it wasn't reflecting as a magic weapon.
Okay.
So we said 15?
Yes, 15.
All right. You blast a substantial chunk out of this being.
Sweet.
The arcane magic runs through your firearm and activates these sort of alchemical components. And mixed in with it all is sort of distilled dust. And with it propels a piece of magically inscribed metal that catches this thing in the shoulder, and it but can't do anything about it because turn-based.
Yep.
All right.
And then for my bonus action, I am gonna get Fluffy to come up next to me.
All right.
So actually move the character. There we go.
So
oh dear God.
You see a pile of what just looked like bones laying in the road ahead. Starts to kind of make this like tumbling noise and a symbol, and a giant creature as big as you and Fluffy both assembles itself and slithers forward, and it is going to try and attack. I think we have a Zoom crash coming. What's happening?
Recording in progress.
I'm not even using the weird format anymore.
So I'll let you know the last thing I heard, which was you saying about this creature that was bigger than Fluffy and myself.
Yep, and it is slithering forward, and it's going to try and grapple you.
Oh, wonderful.
16 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
All right. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are now grappled. Until the grapple ends, you are also restrained, but it can't attack another target.
Okay.
That is its turn. We are back to the top with Dr. Mallard.
Okay.
How did you take 1 point of damage? Oh, that's right.
I took 7
it
points of
slashed
damage.
you. That's right.
Yeah. But Busker had very helpfully given me the
temporary hit
hit
points.
Well, I'd like to deal with this guy who's right in front of me, but my little friend's all wrapped up.
Yeah, I need some help here, bud.
So I will just take the attack of opportunity and fly over to attack this guy.
All right. It is going to swing. It gonna crit.
Okay.
But it rolled minimum damage. 3 points of damage.
Nice.
Ow.
I kind of thought that was... It wouldn't have killed you, but it would have hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so that'll be a Talon Attack on the big snake thing.
All right, go for it.
Oh, has an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
That'll be 6 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And you said it was a skeleton, right?
Yes.
So did the slash do normal damage or look like it did fine?
It looks like it did fine.
Okay. I'm going to spend a key point to Flurry of Blows.
All right.
So as a bonus action, 2 unarmed attacks. The first one is a 17 to hit
17 will hit.
for 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
That actually kills it. You discover that it is surprisingly fragile. Tink,
Apparently.
this looks really cool. Mallard just kind of like,
Darkwing
swoops.
Duck.
Yeah, like you jump off the top, you swoop down. What is this like 1-2 KO look like?
A kick with toes first for the talons, and then just a punch to the face, expecting to continue with another punch, and it just falls
right
apart.
through it.
And I go, was Tink hurt by that, by the way? Or just grappled?
Took some damage.
I took 3 damage,
Okay.
but I had
Although-
bonus points.
Yeah, it had
so.
temp. So
Bonus. All right. Well, since I have one part of my flurry of blows left, I will replace it with a hand of healing on myself.
all right.
That's 1d4 plus 3.
So what does Mallard's hand of healing look like?
Just my hand glowing as I massage.
It's a duck wing.
I massage my. What is it? There's a lymph node right here, just to get some of the
Your breath.
kinks out of the lymph node right there, as I heal
I
6
took
points.
Collarbone.
All right. So it's this very, very strange combination of attacks.
Kick, punch, massage.
It's almost like one of those nonsense sort of like Power Rangers moves, like flying kick right into like bam. But the wings kind of, you've sort of perfected like turning yourself mid-air to hit again with force.
All
So
right.
you just crunch through this thing, and it, whatever was animating it comes apart,
Nice.
and then you heal yourself. Now it is the humanoid creatures. You're just presenting a very compelling target.
Well, you know.
One of them is going to make 2 shots against you. First one is a 22,
Ouch.
which I assume will hit. And it deals 2 piercing and 9 poison damage.
No, it doesn't.
So you've
I'm
probably got-
using a key point to deflect it.
so you can actually deflect without spending a key point.
Oh, you're right. I can. I can deflect without. It's just a reaction.
Yeah.
So it's reduced by 1d10 plus 6. So that's 7 points of damage less.
All right. So 7 less. You only take 4 damage. The other shot missed. The other one is going to take 1 shot at Tink and 1 shot at Fluffy. It's an 18 against Tink.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And don't forget, Fluffy can impose disadvantage.
Okay. Fluffy will impose disadvantage.
And I think only the one creature. Oh, nope, I'm incorrect. It's written weirdly. It has to be within 5 feet of the attacker, not the defender.
Oh.
That's weird. I'm wrong. I apologize.
Throw Fluffy.
So that is going to be 2 hits.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm rolling additional attack rolls. 6 piercing and 8 poison.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Let me double check the roll before. And the shot against Fluffy was a 19. Which I'm guessing hits.
I don't know.
Oh, but Fluffy is immune to poison. So, Fluffy takes 2 piercing damage, and that's it.
Okay.
I also just arbitrarily buffed Fluffy up a little bit in terms of health. Since you all are running basically like...
Recording in progress.
All right.
I don't understand.
Zoom is just
I don't know.
apparently having issues tonight.
If it wasn't more trouble than it was worth, I would just shut everything down and turn it back on.
Yeah.
This has me seriously contemplating a Zoom replacement.
Yeah, I getcha.
Anywho, Fluffy has extra health because you're basically running 2 PCs, a helper, and a minion as a party. So your minion is a little beefier than usual.
Nice.
All right. So made the attacks. The injured snake continues to go after Busker with disadvantage.
Come on, Busker, hit it.
Oh no, it rolled a 20 and a 25.
Busker.
Can Busker dodge?
Oops.
Busker, get your act together.
Oh, poor Busker. But hey, he made the con save, so he only takes 1 point of damage. Nope. Oh, actually, I didn't even have his temp HP registered, so he still has 5 temp HP.
Good. Good.
All right, that was the one that had disadvantage. Mallard, you are in fact at ground level, right?
Yes.
A snake that you all did not see before busts its way up from the ground.
How dare.
And it's going to
Eat it
attack
up.
with advantage for a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a crit.
All right.
21.
So you take... Oh, whoops, it's half as much on a fail. So Busker actually should have taken some. So I'll say each of you takes 2 points of damage. Because I should have done his last time.
Does that include me?
No.
No. Okay.
All right.
Just making sure.
That was snakes. Now it is Busker.
Come on, Busker.
Well, Busker is not going to take an attack of opportunity just to move away. So, I think Busker is just going to vicious mockery one of the... No, he's got to kill the snake. It's just going to keep biting him. He's got to do it. Busker whips out a rapier. Gets a 21 to hit. Can't not kill it. Is dead.
All right. Good job, Busker.
And for his bonus action, whoops, nope. He does a whole different thing. I need to pay attention to how I build him. Tink, it is your turn.
All right. Let's see. I shot the one towards the right, didn't I? On the right
Yes.
side of the screen. Okay, I'm gonna shoot that one again. Let's see. 7, because I rolled a nat 1.
Oh. Yeah, something goes wrong this time. Like, you're still perfecting this technology that lets your firearm work. Because, in fact, firearms are actually still very rare, even in the flats. They're mostly only held by these gunpowder priests.
Okay.
So you're kind of trying to figure this out on your own, and it literally backfires a little on you. It doesn't like break your weapon or hurt you. It just doesn't do anything.
All right.
But you've still got Fluffy to order around, and there is now a snake sort of nipping at Mallard's ankles.
So I can order Fluffy to bite the snake.
Yep. Force-powered rend.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's a +4 to hit.
Okay. What do you need me to roll then?
D20 +4.
Okay, D20. Roll. It's a nat 20.
Jeez. It has 2 HP.
I know. What a shame to waste it on that, but that's okay.
Fluffy grabs this snake and just like dog toys it. Yeah, just until it is scraps. It's honestly kind of horrifying.
Yeah, Fluffy's a red panda. He's supposed to look cute.
It is
Did you get some blood on you?
adorifying.
Adorifying.
Mallard,
I like that.
You are up.
Gonna give Fluffy the dry cleaning bill.
Yeah, you
Fluffy
definitely got
doesn't have any coin.
some snake bits.
No.
So the one to the right is injured.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna fly up and kick it in the face.
There you go.
So Talon Attack is a 19 to hit.
All right. That should do.
19 will definitely hit.
Yep. Yay.
So that is going to be max damage 7.
Woo!
All right.
Max damage.
It is getting very hurt.
As a bonus
Yay.
action, I will kick it again.
All right.
Good job.
And that is an 18 to hit
18 will hit.
for another 5 damage.
Yay!
It now has a giant like gun wound and then huge slashes from your talons.
Damn, son.
It is barely standing.
But I'm still standing.
The other creature, it does not like Tink's gun. It is going to take some shots at Tink.
Tough shit.
That's
Great gun.
a 20 and a 19 to hit.
Oh, well, hell, both of those hit.
So as a reminder, you do have the shield spell.
Yeah, I just was thinking about that. What sort of... So, we need to go to spells.
So it's a reaction to add 2 to your armor, right?
Add 5.
Oh, add
Add
5.
Okay.
Yeah, until the start of your next turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit the cast on shield then.
All right. What does Tink's shield spell look like?
Trying to figure out how to explain that. My gut instinct is like the ward spell in Skyrim because of course that's, where my brain goes, but a bit more than that. Maybe a bit more dome-like. I'm also thinking of the Halo, like
Oh, the Halo bubble shield.
Bubble shield, like you do a fist pound into the ground, except maybe not quite like that.
So Skyrim bubble shield.
Skyrim bubble shield. There we go.
So that fits an artificer. You're in this sort
There
of
you go.
weird halfway of magic and technology.
Sweet.
So I think you like grab like a couple of pieces as these arrows are flying at you, and you jam them together. And for just a second, this bubble surrounds you, and then it kind of, and then it shorts out in your hands and stops working.
Great.
But it fully stopped 2 arrow attacks that were gonna hit.
All right. Well, that's good. At least did something right.
The other person is super unhappy with a giant angry duck monk in their face. That snake person is going to take in a deep breath and just sprays poison into your face.
Ew.
So you're going to have to make a Constitution saving throw.
16.
16 will do it. You kind of this is no worse than some of the things you've inhaled on accident, making assorted alchemical concoctions.
Yeah.
I think I have a tonic for that.
Busker is up, and just because I want to see it happen, he is going to use his special bardic inspiration. So one of you roll a d12.
I'll do it. Two.
Great.
All right. So... Oh, this is perfect. Busker whips his instrument the correct way around because he'd been holding it like a weapon, and strums these chords, and he starts singing this song of this acclaimed duelist who is in this quick draw duel. And you've seen this before, but it's still sort of unnerving. The air around you sort of warps as this song passes through the air. And Mallard, you instantly know that you're the target of the song. And the tactileness of it presses down on you. You feel the sun beating down on that day, and you can feel the duelists sort of adjusting their hat. And you feel yourself sort of sweating in the noonday sun. Full... what's his name? Is it Giacomo something? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Yes. Is sort of playing, and you find yourself almost possessed in this moment. And you see your opponent ahead of you, and someone is like holding a handkerchief and they let it drop. And you draw. Make an attack roll against your target.
15.
15 will hit. Let's roll. Interesting. Huh. Actually, I guess he would have made the attack, but that's fine. So... roll 2d6 and add 3.
Eight.
So this song sort of washes over you, and you find yourself dragged along, and suddenly you're not holding a gun, you're holding an open talon, and your talon is like wavering with force, and it has opened up this creature like all the way across, and it and falls over dead. And you kind of
I got a tonic for that one.
shake the song out of your head. And it is Tink's turn.
All right. So I'm going to aim at the other one. Let's see here. So, okay. It was there and then it vanished. So.
I forgot. I need to like reset the maps when I'm done.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's fine. All right. So I'm going to aim at the one that's on the left side with my musket. And that's going to be an 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
All right. With 10 points of damage.
All right. You blast a big chunk out this thing.
Good.
And you know what? I'm going to say, even though it's not as written, Fluffy is a red panda. Red pandas can climb. If you want, Fluffy can climb this rock face.
All right, sure. So Fluffy can get up where it is.
Yep. Fluffy has 30 feet of movement, so Fluffy can get all the way up there.
All right. Ta-da! There you go, Fluffy.
So it
Fluffy
almost
growls.
looks graceful until you realize, like, Fluffy is so heavy that it's not, like, delicately pulling itself up. It's like, choo, machine press, punching holes. Choo! But almost so quick you can't hardly see it. Except there's a trail of, like,
Punches.
yeah, all the way up.
All right. Cool.
So
Fluffy.
go ahead and I think we said it was a +4?
I think. Okay.
Yeah.
D20 +4.
D20. And it's another nat 20.
This one, highly useful. So go ahead and roll 2d8 +2.
That will be 8 points of damage.
All right. Fluffy just, with that same sort of dispassionate climbing energy, just... chong! And you see the whole thing's head, like... It's not just the head. Like, from, like, the middle of the torso, it just folds backwards fully. And then brings itself back up.
Fluffy's like, bitch, I'm made of metal. What are you going to do to me?
Fluffy thought Fluffy was still climbing.
Yeah, seriously.
And it is Mallard's turn.
All right. Let's see. How far away is this sucker? Too far away,
Too far away.
even for my flying speed.
Sad day.
Say, really? Don't you have...
Oh no, 60.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
Aarakocra have stupid flying speed.
I forgot 50 is the base, and then you add the monk speed bonus.
Yeah.
So it is close enough. So, swoop.
What am?
And kick time. 14 to hit.
14 will hit.
5 points of damage.
All right. They are getting real hurt.
Bonus action for a punch.
All right.
That's a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
6 points of damage.
6 points. All right. It is still standing, but real bad.
It's got like 2 points of health.
Should have flurried.
It's also just going to spray you with poison. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, my luck had to run out eventually. 10.
Oh no.
So you see, like, scales along the sides of the torso actually kind of flare out a little bit as this thing's lungs, like, hyper expand. And then it pressurizes and forces this stream of poison at you. All right. That's going to be 10 points of poison damage.
Holy crap.
I shouldn't have even thought it. I was like, it's a D12. It'll probably just do like 1 damage. That's apparently how I summoned the violence. That brings us down to Busker's turn. Busker is going to use another one of his bardics. And someone else, whoever didn't roll before, roll a D12, and let's see what song he cues up.
Number 10.
Number 10, Tale of the Dragon.
All right.
Okay. Well, and I think he's actually going to use this on Fluffy.
Yes.
So you see Busker is playing like bluegrass Dragon Force.
Okay.
And all of these other instruments start going. Like there's this like thumping drums, and there's more like there's keyboards and guitars and just and you see Fluffy kind of like vibing, like, and then the sort of magic, you're in a different place, and Fluffy is like looming up taller than a castle, and Fluffy leans.
Recording in progress.
Battery soon.
What in the world is going on?
Yeah. So many problems.
Okay, and we're back.
Okay. I was
Otherworldly
about to
vision.
say Fluffy's like headbanging right now.
Yeah, otherworldly vision. Thumping music.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
All right.
Fluffy is sort of vibing with this impossible sort of death metal music, death metal bluegrass, and
Sure, it exists.
so it is going to make a dexterity saving throw against Busker's spell save.
Okay.
It does succeed, but I don't think it's going to matter. Roll 4d6.
Six.
On 4d6?
I got 3 freaking ones. Yeah. Bull.
It takes 3 points of damage. It's still up.
Ugh.
That was 6 out of 24. That was bottom. What is it? Quartile. Bottom quartile damage. It's all right though. He's just setting you up. Tink, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna shoot it with an 11.
11 hits. It is an unarmored snake person.
Oh, thank God. 7 points of damage.
All right. So we'll give Busker and Fluffy a little bit of credit here. So
They helped.
yeah. So this creature is hissing. It's just breathed a huge face full of poison at Mallard. Mallard is sort of like woozy from inhaling this, and this music plays. Fluffy is. I guess it doesn't breathe. It just pretends to breathe, and then just like opens and like flamethrower, and the creature manages to like turn and protect itself a little bit, and as soon as the flames subside, it turns back, and that's when, and the creature,
One last shot.
and it gets hit, and then it just falls off the side of this canyon past Mallard. Is dead.
Is dead.
Whew. That got a little intense.
Yeah, it
A little
did.
So Busker is going to. We're about to crash again. Piece of crap.
Again.
Recording in progress.
This is just wild. I've never had technical issues this much.
I don't know. It's complaining that John's not here.
Yeah.
Apparently. Give us back our rogue.
So I pull out one of my darts and I start digging through the dead thing to try and find the poison sacks.
All right. Do you have a poisoner's kit?
I think I do, actually.
Hope so.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll proficiency plus we'll say proficiency plus either dexterity or wisdom.
All right.
Whether this is more of like a delicate sleight of hand kind of operation, or if this is more about like a medicine knowing like where it's going to be.
Well, they're equal, so it's all flavor. So plus proficiency makes that a 21.
All right. Yeah, you're easily able to find these. You kind of tie it off in the appropriate places so that it doesn't cause any more issues. You pull out like a jar and chunk. It's a surprisingly small organ because there's sort of an aeration process before it breathes out. So you get it in your jar, goes in your poisoner's kit, and you'll be able to potentially do something with that later.
I can distill that into my next medicine.
That's really creepy.
If you're interested in such a thing, between them they have 2 scimitars, 2 bows. Someone roll 2d12 and then 1d4.
I'll get the 12. Eight.
Is that all 3 of the dice?
No, that's just
So
the 2.
roll the d4 separately. Sorry, should have clarified.
Okay.
8 and 3.
All right. Between the 2 of them, there are 8 regular arrows and 3 arrows that both of you are quickly able to identify as poisoned.
Okay.
So you can add those to your inventory as well. They're not carrying any currency. There are some rations, but you don't think you want them.
We probably don't like what snake people eat.
You don't know what that is. Like, yeah.
Got any grapes?
Yeah.
So yeah, you take them out. So you do have a choice to make here. So you have hit dice. You also have Busker, who gives additional health on a short rest. So you could long rest, short rest, or if you really want to keep going quickly, Busker does have a couple of spell slots of healing word to spare.
Oh. I don't know that we need to take a long rest, but I don't know that we need to move too quickly either. We can probably take a short rest.
Okay.
All right.
Down to that.
And I will definitely be using 2 hit dice on this short rest.
Okay. What do we
and
need to do
you'll regain your temporary HP on the short rest too.
Okay.
And Busker is going to blow a 2nd level spell slot to cast Aid. So each of you will heal 5, but also your maximum HP is temporarily increased by 5.
Okay.
Right, so what do I do?
So I thought that I had figured out how to do the hit dice, but apparently I didn't.
So all I need to
So
do is
I'll
do
just
this.
have to do it here.
I still don't actually think there's a... Oh, you have to like hit the short rest button.
I did.
Let's have Busker hit his. Oh, you have to hit it and then you check how many you want to roll.
Oh.
That's what I thought I did, but
Huh.
I don't know.
Oh,
it should be
it makes you confirm.
8.
You have to hit it twice.
I
Although,
did.
I don't see it. Maybe it doesn't actually roll it. Let's see.
Yeah, I did everything right, but it just didn't roll the.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
They're getting better at some things and not at others. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So I tried to roll 1. Hold on. So I tried to roll 1 d8 plus 3. So get my d8. Roll that sucker. 2 plus 3, so that's 5. Heal that, and then I have 5 temperate hit points. Okay,
All right.
there we go. That works.
Now that I have correctly situated where you all are in the story, we'll be able to come back here and probably wrap up next time. Hopefully our rogue will get some long rests in and come back without as many status conditions.
Seriously.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to send him to the cleric.
Yeah.
But anywho, so the next time that happens, we'll come back and probably close out this adventure. And if it doesn't seem like it's happening in the relatively near future, we'll see if we can spin it out on a special day and maybe put our rogue in charge of Busker or Fluffy, I guess.
Yeah,
You'd have fun with that.
you would.
All right. Well, I'm going to get off of here, and you all have a wonderful evening, and all the bots out in internet land, I guess. And I'm going to see
Merry Christmas, bots.
how badly that mangled our recording. So,
Yeah.
all right. Peace.
Night.
Good night.